boyfriends, exes, you name it, I'll speak about it. Mila Kunis is not going to be in his DMs. Always be open and honest with your feelings. Like, literally, communication is key in friendships, relationships, everything. Just communicate. Tell them how you feel. I've always, because like during school I had a bit of a hard time, like I feel like I always overthink being left out more than ever now. Getting back with your ex. So, been there, done that. Just don't go back. Honestly, just don't go back. Most of my best friends have absolutely terrible exes. Thoughts on long distance relationships? You're speaking to the right girl. I just think if they want to, they will. Okay? Okay? Definitely. I feel like I'm really exposing my life in this video. Hi girlfriends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a really fun video where I'm basically going to be doing Sister Secrets part, oh my god, I want to say part 6, but I'm not sure. It has been a while. It's been a long time since I've done one of these videos. So I'm bringing it back today because you guys always DM me asking for advice and you say you like these videos and people enjoy these sort of things. And I love to watch videos like this. I love like girl talks. I love just learning about other people's advice. Like it's always handy to like get a second opinion on like things that you're going through. Like I always love to watch them. So I know you guys do as well. So I like to help you guys out where I can. And obviously, as you guys know, I like to be like seen as like a big sister to you guys. So obviously I'm maybe not older than all of you, but I am, most of you I am older than you. So I can provide you some experience sometimes, I guess. So yeah, that is that. I have my tea in my Dachshund glass. I saw this and I was like, you're coming home with me. So grab yourself a hot drink, cold drink, a snack, whatever you're fancying, and we're just gonna have a big old girl talk. This might be really long, this might be really short, but I don't like cropping them too much. I like them to be quite, you know, real time, because I feel like these videos kind of need that sort of thing. So we'll see, but this could be a long video. I don't know how many questions I've got, how many dilemmas I've got, but we're going to try and get through as many as we can today, because there was quite a few. But I like to keep it in depth as well, so I don't answering too many. So I'll try my best to like cover all rounds of like boys, girls, periods, like anything, just like whatever you guys want. So boyfriends, exes, you name it, I'll speak about it. So this is a bit hot right now, I'm gonna put it down. Firstly, I just want to talk about a few things that I've been loving recently, because I feel like as your big sister, if I can guide you in any way to buy things, or, you know, I'm not trying to influence anyone to purchase anything, but this is just a big girl talk. So I'm going to talk about things that I'm loving. So firstly, this book, you guys might have seen on my Instagram, I literally post a quote every Monday. It's like my new little thing that I do for like a little bit of Monday motivation to hurt nobody. So this is the book I get all the quotes from, and honestly, I think I'm going to give this book away once I'm done with it, because I'm almost through it now. It was actually a present for Christmas and it's not super cheap because it's hard to get in England. Maybe I'll give it away or something. If you guys want me to do that, let me know, because it's honestly got some of the best quotes in it and it honestly helps me in my dark time. So yeah, this is the book here if you guys wanted to purchase it. It's by Ashley Mesher, who's actually one of my favorite influencers, but I love this book so much. It's honestly, you know, when you just need a little pick me up, this is what I go to. So if anyone's going through a little bit of a hard time, this could really help you. Breakups, she talks about breakups, she talks about life, she talks about comparing yourself, she talks about a bit of everything in here. So basically summarising what I'm talking about in this video, she kind of gives you quotes and like a little bit of advice in this book, so always handy. And then also my best friend Lily, you guys may know Lily, she has been my best friend since a couple of years ago now, and we basically met on TikTok, so love that for us. She does live far away, so I don't see her super often, but when I do see her, it's really special. She has actually started her own business, so I just wanted to tell you guys about these candles. This is not an ad or anything. Obviously, she's my best friend and I'm gonna support her. I literally paid for it myself, so this is not gifted or anything. But basically, she started her own candle business and she's doing candles now, so I'm gonna link all her details down below. This scent was actually made specifically for me because I said I need something vanilla, like you need to do vanilla for me, because vanilla is my, if you know me, vanilla is my scent. Like most of my candles in my room have something vanilla, so she actually made this especially for me and it smells so good. It's so musky and like cozy and warm, and especially for like winter nights, so good. And I think her candles look so stunning. They're so cute. I love simplistic candles, like I just feel like this is my vibe. So this is literally my perfect candle and it smells so good. I burnt this last night for the first time. And then she's also got like a Valentine's one come out recently, so this is a rose and rhubarb, and she actually does do crystals if you prefer, but I do like simplistic candles, but obviously I've got one of each, which was great. So yeah, I've got a few, like I'm not actually too sure what this crystal is, I'll have to ask her, but yeah, this is the rose and rhubarb one. And I just thought if anyone's got like a little bit of money left over for Christmas, someone's birthday coming up, defo check out this because they're really, really high quality candles. She's literally put so much time and effort into it, so super proud of her. And yeah, personally this is more me because obviously she literally made this scent for me, but this is very fresh and like it smells lovely. Like it is very rose and like I feel like my mum would love this. She's actually given me a discount code of Georgia10 so you can get 10% off, so I really recommend checking that out if you are looking to buy candles or you just want to treat yourself on this fine Friday. Moving on from that, we are actually going to do something a little bit different today. I've never done this before, but I wanted to do it because it's kind of like podcast vibes. So again, if you just want to put me on your TV while you're getting on with things, you can treat this as a podcast. That's how I want this to be. So I've actually asked on my Instagram some questions and like polls so I can get you guys involved in the video. So let's start with my first poll. I'm doing 3 polls each video, so that gets you involved. You can tell me more if you want to, or like you can just leave it as that. But someone said, this is my first poll ever. We're making this a trend, but this is the first poll ever. Would you care if the person you are talking to is friends with their ex? So yes has 49%, no has 10%, and depends has 41%. I guess no is the smallest of them all, which I'm not shocked about. Someone says depends when they were together. Fair enough. Like I guess if your ex is from when you was like 10, then I wouldn't really be bothered. But yeah, I mean an ex from like 6 months ago, I'd probably be bothered. So personally for me, I think it's a depends thing. How long you were together, when you were together. If they're constantly speaking to them every day, I think I'd probably have a problem with it. But I think as long as if you're just civil with them or you'll say hello on a night out and you're like friends that way, I don't really think that would bother me. But yeah, I don't really agree with boys having girlfriends and still contacting their exes constantly though, because I've been on both ends of that and I feel bad for the girl than the other way around. Obviously, if it's me, like it's just never ended well with that sort of situation. So I try and avoid that situation at all costs. And like if someone that I've spoke to before, like my ex or whatever, is seeing a new girl, I'm not gonna lie, I do take a step back because I'm like, I don't want to be that girl. Like I'm not gonna step on toes. I'm not here to cause dramas with them. So I literally will probably cut you off like on behalf of the other girl. Like I don't want her to feel threatened by me and I don't want her to think there's ever going to be an issue with me, because I wouldn't do that to the other girl. Like he's my ex, that's fine, like he's with you now, I'm not getting involved. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like, yeah, I feel like for me it's a depends thing. And like also I wouldn't say I'm friends with any of my, am I friends with any of my exes? I'm not friends with any of my exes, like really closely friends with, but like I'm like civil with most of them. Like I don't hate any of them. Don't really have it in me to hate anybody anymore. Too old for it. Takes too much energy. It's a hard one, isn't it? I don't really know. Keeping them civil and just speaking every now and again, like happy birthday, or like if something's happened on their story and you're like replying, or they've, don't know, broke their leg or something. Like I don't think that's deep, but like I don't know, it's really difficult. I don't really speak to many of my exes, so yeah, there you go. And out of respect for people that I'm seeing, I probably wouldn't do it. If there was somebody in the picture, then I wouldn't be wanting to speak to my ex, because why would I want to speak to my ex when I've got someone new and it's only going to cause me issues if I do it? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's a hard one. Somebody said no, as long as I trust them, doesn't matter, which is fair enough. Like, yeah, I agree. If you trust them and that's that, then yeah, why would you be worried? Okay, number 2, is it normal to be attracted to other people whilst in relationships? Oh, this is a big one for me. For me, it's dependent on who they're attracted to. If it's like their next door neighbour or like their friend from uni, or like someone close and they're like really attracted and they like make it clear like I'm attracted to her, I'd be like, that's not on. But I think if he says, if we're watching TV and there's like a model on the TV or like a beautiful actress and he's like, oh, she's really pretty, it's not gonna bother me. Like Mila Kunis is not gonna be in his DMs, do you know what I mean? So I feel like, I mean, she could be, but I really doubt it. Oh, it's hard. It's a really hard one actually. Yeah, that's my opinions on that. I think it's normal to be attracted to other people in relationships, so I'd say yes, it is normal, because I don't think you automatically think everybody's ugly if you're with somebody, but I think it's the way you go about things that then can become issues. Let's see if anyone said anything else. No, why would they be attracted to somebody else when they've got me? I mean, fair enough. Someone said, as long as it's not somebody they can start seeing, then I don't really care. So the next one is, going on to this one, is the percentages on this one was yes 55%, no 45%. So you guys are more in agreement that it's yes, but it's very close. Would it bother you if your significant other liked other girls' / boys' photos? So in my case, if a boy I was speaking to was liking girls' pictures. See, I don't know where I stand with this. I'm very on the fence. I'm very 50-50, because I'm like, if you're liking some girl that we know or he knows bikini picture, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a bit, I'm really sorry, my nan is hoovering, so please excuse that. I think it's a bit disrespectful. Yeah, so if he's liking bikini pictures of a girl that he knows, I do think that's disrespectful. Like, I just think, like, why do you need to be doing that? I know for some girls this is like a big thing, but for me it's like more, if he did it and I said to him, look, like, why are you liking her picture? Like, do you really need to like her like half naked pictures because you're giving her like the impression of this? And then he didn't stop, then I'd have an issue. But if he like just genuinely didn't think it was an issue, then I wouldn't be bothered. Like, I don't know, it's so difficult. I think it depends how much you trust the other person as well. So like, if you don't trust them, like people I've seen in the past, like I didn't really trust, so if I was like with them and they were doing it, I'd be like absolutely fuming. But like people that I trust more, then I wouldn't be as bothered. But still, I don't think it would sit 100% right with me. But then I think models' pictures, this is where I really don't know. If it's like a model and she's in a bikini, say like someone from Love Island, or like, I don't know, just like a really pretty Victoria's Secret model or something, I don't know if it would bother me, like, because obviously she's not gonna notice it. Like a girl down the road might be like, oh, so and so's like my picture, like he must fancy me, like, do you know what I mean? But like, who is speaking, what's her name, Romy, the Victoria's Secret model, I don't think she can be like, oh, is like my picture, he definitely fancies me. Like, she's not gonna know him, so I'm just like, does it really matter? But like, then I'm like, is it disrespectful? Slightly. So I'm kind of in the middle of that. Like, I don't really want a boy that's got his name under everybody's picture, do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna say depends, I think. Depends who it is, but I would also prefer if they didn't do it. Depending on the picture, like if it's their family friend and she's in a picture of a boyfriend and he's liking it, I'm not gonna be bothered, do you know what I mean? It's just really dependable, I think, on that situation. Somebody said it really just depends who the person is, which I agree. I don't mind as long as it's not somebody in a bikini or half naked. Okay, so we're all in agreement really. So for that one, the poll is currently standing at yes 18%, they are bothered by it, no 33%, and depends 49%. So 49% depends is actually winning that one. That's the polls for this Sister Secret video. So now we're going to get into the dilemmas and the girl talk and all the questions that you guys want to know answers to. So firstly, I need a sip of my tea, hold on. Okay, firstly, how to cope with a potential situationship. Different to a talking stage. I feel like situationships are where you're like, you basically could be in a relationship at that point, but for some reason you're not. So it's becoming a situationship rather than a relationship, because you're at that point where it should really be progressing to the next stage, but it's not. How to cope with it? Personally, I've just not had great times with situationships. I think if it's becoming a potential situationship and you don't want it to become a potential situationship, you want it to be a relationship, or you don't want it to be anything, like you need to realise that while you're going into this stage. You need to know what the goals are. Is the goal to get to a relationship? Is the goal just to keep it as a situationship? Because then really you're both just wasting each other's time, like somebody's wasting the other one's time, and you need to really be on the same page throughout all of this process of getting in a relationship, I think, because in my experience there's always been one person that's more interested than the other at different times, say, or like somebody's got a different goal to the other person. So one person's like, oh, I'm happy with how it's going, but the other one's like, no, I want to be in a relationship. Like, and you need to find the balance like between you both, and like make sure you both are aware of how the other one's feeling, to stop like any situationships getting complicated and stuff like that. So I don't want to be, I'm not at a stage in my life where I want to be in a situationship. I want to talk to somebody, I want to start seeing them, I want to date them, and then I want to be with them. Like, I don't want to be playing these games anymore. I'm too old. Like when I was younger, maybe it wasn't so, I mean, I've never really wanted that, to be honest. I've never really been somebody that wants situationships, but like I feel like I've just always got myself involved in them. So not avoided them very well. But I think just be clear with what you want, know what you want, like make sure you're telling the other person what you want, and then everybody's clear on the situation, and you can then know, right, we're in a situationship right now, but like we're going to progress to a relationship. Or just make sure you both are on the same page, because you don't want to be giving 100% and they're like kind of just there for the sake of being there, do you know what I mean? So just make sure you're clear on what you want, know what you want, stand by what you want, and don't settle for anything other than what you want. Like, make sure it's clear, but don't also be the person that wastes the other person's time if you just think it's just going to be like a little thing for a while. Like, and the other person really wants something, don't mess them around just because you've got them there. Like, make sure you're clear with them if you don't want that, because it's really not fair on the other person, and you wouldn't want to be in that situation where you're thinking, wow, this is going really well, we're going to be together and da 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 da, and the other person's like, no, we're not. Like, that's never happening. You don't want to be that person that's causing that like pain on somebody else. So just be honest with your emotions, be honest with your feelings, tell people where you stand. I've, like, not gonna lie, I've been in a situation where I probably held back how I felt a lot more than I should have done, and that kind of backfired on me in the end, which I don't really agree with. I don't think it backfired on me at all, because I think I was pretty clear, but I think because I hadn't said the words, it could be used against me that I wasn't clear enough. Yeah, just make sure you're clear, because sometimes it's better just to be honest and tell them exactly how you feel. And if they don't feel the same, yeah, it's gonna hurt, it's probably gonna make you cry, but better to know now than in 6 months time when you're still in the situation, like, why is this not progressing, why am I still in this situationship? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my advice for that. That's how to cope. How to drift from friends in school. They always bring my mood down and are never there for me the way I am for them. Okay, so this is quite a deep one. So I feel like in school it's really hard to drift apart from people because it just causes drama, and like when you try and like drift apart quietly, it just can still be seen as like a bad thing. So I think you should just open up to them and say, like, I just don't feel like you're always there for me, I feel like I'm giving more than you're giving me. Have that conversation with them, do it in like a calm like way, don't go in full guns blazing, like do it nicely, explain how you feel in a nice way, and then if they don't change up how they're acting, then you've given them a reason why you're drifting, so they're gonna know why you're drifting. If you just start randomly stop speaking to them and stuff, they're gonna be like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? And then they're gonna make a big deal about it, especially if it's a group of girls rather than just like one girl. So yeah, I think you need to be open and honest about your feelings, tell them how you feel. If then nothing changes and you still feel that same way, then you can just say, look, I think it's best, like, I just like go with other people now, like I don't think this is working for us, like I don't feel like it's got any better, so that's that. Like, I think just be open with your communication, because as soon as you're not open with communication, it just gives like these like extra little things to come in and like cause issues for you. So just always be open and honest, always be open and honest with your feelings. Like, literally, communication is key in friendships, relationships, everything. Just communicate, tell them how you feel. If it doesn't change, that's your answer, then they know exactly why you're doing it, because they'll be like, okay, well, you know, we've not been seeing eye to eye recently, that's that. And then hopefully there won't be any more issues. And then if there is, you just tell them, like, this is how I felt, I told you how I felt, I just thought it'd be better for us if we separated. No hard feelings, just how it should be right now. Like, there's no harm in not getting on with people anymore. Like, I feel like there's such a thing about, okay, you're in a group, you can't leave that group. That's just not the case. Like, if you're not happy, leave. Like, don't stay in any situation where you're not happy. Like, it's just not worth it. Like, it really isn't. So yeah, communicate, be open and honest with your feelings. If nothing changes, then you've literally got the door open to leave. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just like trying to like sneak out the door without them noticing, because then it's going to cause more problems. So that'd be my advice for that. Feeling left out of a group. Best friend likes group, don't want to fall out with her. Okay, so somebody's feeling left out. Their best friend really likes being in this group and she doesn't want to lose her best friend. I think you need to address that you're feeling left out with the group. Again, communicate, be open and honest. Tell them, I'm not feeling great, like I feel like I'm being a bit left out. Can we just talk about it? There you go. See if things change, and then you can say to your best friend, look, I've tried, I really don't want to leave you, I don't want to not be with you, I want to stay best friends with you, but I can't be in a group where I feel like lonely and it's not making me feel good. As a best friend, she should really get involved. If this was my best friend coming to me like, I feel left out, I would say to the girls, like, look, can we like make sure we don't leave her out, she's feeling a little bit lonely at the minute, a bit sensitive, can we like make sure like we always include her and she's like part of the group. That's what I would do as your best friend. So if your best friend doesn't step up for you, then you need to consider if she's really like a best friend to you as much as you are to her. Because personally for me, it's a no-brainer. I'd literally make sure my best friend felt included in everything, and I'd never want to make her feel lonely, so I would do everything in my power. I feel like it's from a more mature perspective. Like, obviously I'm older now, I'm not worried to like speak my mind and like address problems, whereas when you're younger it's a bit more scary to be that person to like stand up and like approach a situation. So yeah, either speak to your best friend, explain how you're feeling and see if she can help you or do anything about it, or you do it yourself and then you can go from there. There's two options there for you. Whatever one you think's a bit easier, go for it. But no, there's nothing worse than feeling left out in this world. Like, genuinely, I feel like I've never really not felt left out in my life. Like, that sounds really sad, but like I've always, because like during school I had a bit of a hard time. Like, I feel like I always overthink being left out more than ever now. So if there's like one thing where, you know, I'm not invited, or I don't know, just like I'm in a group and I feel like a little bit more excluded, I always overthink it so much more than it is, because of my past. And it's literally horrible. Like, I still do it now to this day. Like, it's something I can't shake from like when I was younger, and it's stuck with me so much. So it's, I know it's not a nice feeling at all, but yeah, that is my advice for that. Getting back with your ex. So been there, done that. With one of them, I kept getting back with him, splitting up with him, getting back with him, splitting up with him. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of to do with things he was doing more than me. I was just kind of reacting to the situation, and then I'd be like, I don't want to be with you, and then obviously I'd then miss him and then want to go back, and then I don't know, it's a really hard situation going back to your ex. But I genuinely think in my heart, if you've got an ex where your past is really traumatic and there's ups and downs and there's roller coasters and it's never been like smooth sailing, just don't go back. Honestly, just don't go back. You're not going to be able to start a new book. Like, you're just going to start a new chapter, because it's the same person. So you're always going to have the rest of that book where it was all bad. So regardless of where you start now, it's still going to have, you're still going to have that at the back of your mind. So I just think if your ex and you were not good, don't go back there. But if it's an ex where like things didn't work out because, say, one of you moved away for uni, or I don't know, if there's like a situation where it was kind of out of your control, like their family had to move away for work, or you moved schools and then you didn't see each other as much, like whatever the case may be, if it was just an ending because of like situation and like circumstances more than like, you know, problems in the relationship, I don't think there's a problem going back there. Like, I don't think that's an issue, because you've got a good past anyway. So it's kind of like you can just start a fresh chapter and start again, because there's no bad blood, bad history there. So that would be my advice. It depends on the before, but like, I'm not gonna lie, I think that is the bottom line with going back to exes for me. Like, if my friends come to me and they've got a bad history with their ex and they're like, oh, I'm speaking to again, I'll be like, honey, he was not good to you and you two were toxic for each other and you didn't work. Like, what are you doing? But if someone come to me with an ex that was like perfect to them, really lovely to them, and it was just like a circumstance thing that caused them to split up, I'd be like, oh my god, like, just give it another go, see how it goes, like, no pressure. That would be how I would advise my friends. So that's how I'm going to advise you guys. So yeah, most of my best friends have absolutely terrible exes, so it would be the first of the two I just explained. But you know, we're maturing, and I'm not accepting them having those toxic relationships anymore, because I will literally kill them if they go back to some of their exes. Okay, next one. Thoughts on long distance relationships. You're speaking to the right girl. My thoughts are simple terms. If you have an end goal, I feel like this is probably more for older people, because when you're younger, like, you've got a little bit longer to go for this stage in your life. If there's an end goal of you and this boy moving into the same place, in the same area, city, whatever you want to call it, I don't think there's a problem. Like, you can make it work. Distance is hard. Distance is not an easy thing, and a lot of people were scared by distance. Like, I was seeing somebody and it was all going well, and I think the distance freaked him out a bit. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not like the ideal situation. Obviously, I'd rather them live 10 minutes down the road than 4 hours down the road. But if I like somebody, I will do everything in my power to make it work, like, because I'm committed to that. Like, if I agree to it at the beginning, I'm agreeing to it. Like, I will do everything I can to make sure we see each other, to make sure I have time for him. You know, I'm one of those people that will put myself out there, and like, if I want something to work, I will make it work. Like, I will try my hardest. But I think it can be scary when you're like, oh, they live so far away. Like, I get why people are scared of it, and I get why people don't do it. I get it. But like, if you really like somebody and they really like you and you're meant for each other and you've got this connection that works, and they live 5 hours away, 7 hours away, 10 million miles away, you're going to make it work, because you both really want to make it work. So at the end of the day, that's my feelings towards it. If you want it to work, you can make it work. If he wanted to, he would. If I wanted to, I would. Do you know what I mean? That's my views towards it. I think it can be an easy way out, like, oh, it's distance, and also it's not an ideal situation. It really isn't ideal. I know that it's not ideal for everybody, and it's not ideal for me personally, but if I really like somebody and they really like me and I want to give it a go, I'm not going to let distance get in the way. Like, I'm not the person, that's just how I am. I don't know if that's stupid or a good thing, but yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But I do know, like, so the girl that wrote this book that I was talking about earlier, Ashley, her twin Olivia, they're like YouTubers. She has a long distance relationship. She lives in Australia and he lives in the UK. He lives in England. So they live like the other sides of the world and they make it work, and they are so happy and like such a cute couple. Like obviously I don't know the ins and outs, but like I literally see that and I think that is just true love. That is like, that just shows like if somebody wanted to do it, they would do it. Like they're not 4 hours down the road, they are living like 24 hours apart, like on a flight. Like you can't even drive there if you wanted to, like it's crazy, but they make it work. And I'm just like, that is so cute. And they do have an end goal, they do want to end up living in the same city, and they've been together like a year or so, and I think they're already like planning on living in the same city in the next few months. So I just think if they wanted, they will. Okay. But yeah, seeing that relationship work and how like excited they are to see each other, and like how much they miss each other, and how much love they have for each other, and how much they will go to the end of the world for each other pretty much. Like I just think then there's no excuse. Like if you can do it from Australia to England, you can do it from anywhere. Like that is the furthest you can get, so anywhere. Personally, I don't think I could have somebody live in Australia that I was seeing. I think maximum like, oh, I don't even know. I don't even think I could do something I had to get on a flight for. Like if they live in England, I could probably do it. Scotland, Wales, Ireland is pushing it, but I probably would try. I don't know. It's not an easy thing. So I think for me it depends how far the distance is and what is the end goal. Have we got an end goal? Will this actually work long term? Do we communicate? Communication is obviously going to be key for it. Can we communicate? Are we good at communicating? I think that is the long distance for me. So if that's all good, I'll give it a go. Do you know what I mean? I think for the next poll I'm going to do long distance. That's going to be my next poll for next time. So I think that's a really good one. I'm going to make sure I write that down. How do you do your brows? I've got this question every time I go live on TikTok. How do you do your brows? How do you do your brows? What do you use on your brows? Can we see what you use on your brows? Can you show us your brow tutorial? Babes, I literally got them tattooed and they are perfect. So I got them tattooed in November, and then I had my top up literally last week, and my brows are amazing. They're so beautiful, they're perfect. They literally map perfectly to my face, they're perfect shape, perfect colour. Like I didn't touch them, I literally I don't even have to do anything to them. I wake up, they're there, they're done. It is the best thing I've ever done in my life. So if you're ever thinking about getting your eyebrows tattooed, this is your sign to do it, because oh my god, best thing ever. The girl that I went to is in Essex, so I'm going to pop her username on the screen if you guys want to go and book in. Let her know that you've come from me, and I'm sure she will get you in, because she's so good. Really recommend. Okay, the last one. This has been a long video and I've got gym class soon, so I need to wrap this up. Can you have a boyfriend without them being your boyfriend? So boy mate, let's say like a friend as a boy. Yes, you can. I feel like back at school it was harder than now, because I think it's easy for people to misread situations, and I definitely had like boy mates in school who definitely I feel like I'm really exposing my life in this video. I had a few boy mates at school, and they definitely got the wrong impression of like my feelings towards them, and that caused problems, because then I was like, oh god, this is awkward, because I didn't realise they felt that way about me and they think I feel that way about them and I don't. Like it did cause some issues for me. But I think as long as you're honest, and like if I have a boy mate, I'll speak to them about my boy problems, as in like, oh I'm seeing this boy, like da. I'll tell them about it, because then they know that I'm like seeing somebody else, or like I'm not interested in them, because why would I be talking about like another boy if I was interested in them? Do you know what I mean? So I feel like for now that's how I play it. Like if I've got loads of boy mates, but they all know they're my mates, like, and if they were to ever try anything, I would literally be like, we're best friends, like what are you doing? But I still, to be honest, even in sixth form I had these problems where I was really close with boys, and they would then be like, oh, like I kind of like you, and I was like, what? We can't be like that, we're best friends. It's hard because you don't know where the other person stands, and it depends how much you communicate with it. Like you don't want to be like, oh by the way we're just friends, because what if they don't even feel that way about you? But like I think the best way to do it is if they're discussing their girl problems to you and you're discussing your boy problems to them, you know it's just platonic. Like I think that's perfect. So, and if like I got a boyfriend, I would introduce him to my friends, and then they know that like I've got a boyfriend, and like they wouldn't then obviously want to try anything with me because I've got a boyfriend. And like same for them, if they got a girlfriend, I'd want to meet her, so then they know I'm not an issue, because I wouldn't ever want them to be insecure about me, because obviously I'm just their friend, you know. But it's just like such an awkward topic, but definitely you can. I'm super close with like a lot of boys, like I have a lot of close boy mates, and I'd probably say I speak to some of my boy mates more than my girl mates, for sure. Like, I have a really close boy mate. Like, I'd say I have about 4 really, really close boy mates. I think as long as you're clear that you're like speaking to other people or like not interested, then it's fine. Just like, if it ever gets to that point, just like, look, like, we are best friends, I don't want to ruin that. I've had that conversation a few times and it's not an easy conversation to be had, but it's definitely important to like always stand by what you believe and like just be like, look, I don't want this to change our situation, but this is just not like, this isn't a thing for me. Because I think having boy mates in your life is so important. They're so much different to girls. Girls are so bitchy and horrible and like can be so nasty, but boys are just so straight to the point and just like easy to deal with. So I definitely prefer having boy mates. But yeah, there we go. Right, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I'm really sorry it's been extra long, but I hope you've enjoyed this. If you like these extra long type of videos for these girl talks, then let me know, because I want it to be like podcast vibes. So I feel like podcasts are kind of quite long, aren't they? So yeah, there we go. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.